Hey everyone, so today I'm making a short video about the four births of the sun, and this is the four births of Jesus Christ, it's debated between two of them, which one is his real birth, and then there's the third one, which is his spiritual birth or resurrection, and then there's obviously the manger birth. So let's just get right into that. So first we draw the zodiac. So in ancient astrology, there's the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs of each season. So this would be cardinal, this is mutable, or fixed. And then mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. So that's like, the cardinal is the introducing the season, right? This is spring, summer, fall, winter, and so the cardinal introduces the season. The fixed sign is steady at that season. It's at the highest position of that season. It's in the belly of that season, and then mutable is that season is dying. And of course, the sun goes around this on the ecliptic every year. So now that we understand that, we could say that each one of the cardinal signs is a birth, or an exaltation is a word that was used. An exaltation, birth or exaltation. I'm just going to say birth. Sorry, that was wrong. Birth, birth, birth. So all these are births of the sun. This is the life of all the fixed signs, are the life of the sun, and all the mutable is the death of the sun in that season, or the death of that season. Now, what about all of the births in the Bible, right? Or even the resurrections. So there's this debate. Sometimes you might have heard it said that Jesus was born at Christmas, and he's called the reason for the season. Well, that would be down here. You have Xmas, and there's the sun's at the lowest point in the sky, and most southern point in the sky for 3 days, and then it rises again. And it doesn't appear to move north or south for 3 days, so then it was said to be, it's born again. And that's where our new year is now. So the year is born again. But that was changed from the old New Year, which was at the vernal equinox. But now you're an April Fool. April Fools is in here if you say that that's the beginning of the year now. So, and then the other birth of Christ, which is there's a lot of Christians who say, well, this is the real birth of Christ, is over here, and it would be September, right? And this was December. And this is where Virgo is. This is the Virgo. And Virgo gives then birth to Libra, the scales of judgment. And this was actually the point of incarnation into the flesh in the old Gnostic tradition, right? Southern half of the zodiac is the earth. More than half is the heavens. So this is the part where the constellations incarnate. So this again makes sense that this would be the birth of Christ, because that is where the Virgin, the moon literally goes through and looks like the Virgin is giving birth. And so then that's why they said that Jesus is born in September 21st. And but again, these are all things that the sun does. It's not things that a historical man would do necessarily. And then this is, of course, Capricorn, the goat who goes out into the wilderness to die and take on the sins of the people. Well, that would have been when the solstice was over here. The goat is going in the wilderness, and he's going to die, and it's going to be the new year again. Because of precession, all these points are moving backwards through the zodiac. So then up here you have Aries, which is the lamb or the ram of God. And this is where Jesus is crucified for 3 days, and then he's born again on the third day. So it's almost like a conflation between this point and this point, that the sun is born again, and that makes sense because this is all the winter season. It's a season of death. So in a sense, he goes in for 3 months into the dead months of the year before he truly rises again, or the 30 degrees each. So number 3 is always there. And there's always 3 months per season. So, and then of course sometimes these are conflated as the summer months, and these are just all conflated as the winter months. So what about up here? Well, up here is the manger, the constellation of the manger. This is also the 2 donkeys that the sun rides into Jerusalem. And so it's the symbol of Cancer, the crab, which is sometimes understood as the manger, or the sheep pen. It would look like a sheep pen. So Jesus says, and there's 2 different sheep pens. So Jesus says, I have these sheep that you know not of. And that goes back to the Mormon verses. The Mormons believe that they're the other sheep. So, anyways, I just want to point that out. The four seasons seem to be all the 4 births of Christ. And at least these bottom 3 most obviously give the birth of Christ. There's 9 months of pregnancy. From here, you could say if this is the conception, and Jesus is born in the manger up here. And Jesus was called the good beetle by Constantine. So then this is your 4th birth, because the good beetle is born up here, right? So this is the birth of the resurrection. Jesus is baptized after 30 days by John the Baptist in Aquarius. So this could have been like an earlier sort of birth, but due to precession, it's been moved back to here. Then there's the birth of the incarnation, the birth of the flesh. And this would have been the civilized calendar. And then this is like the birth of the ecclesiastical calendar of the Jews. So all of these births, God births, like even Alexander the Great would say that he was born down here because he wanted to be a sun god. And so these people loved astrology. Every time there's a resurrection, it happens at dawn. And in the Synoptic Gospels, it's always at dawn. So Jesus is raised on the Sunday at dawn in the morning. It's the day of the sun. And it's when the sun rises that he is risen. And it's also the same when he walks on the water. The sun appears to walk on the water in the morning in the certain watch of the night, which is when the sun appears to rise. The different births that are debated in Christianity, right, they're debated between these cardinal points on the zodiac, the births of the sun. So it really answers a lot of these questions. It's like the tertium quid, or the third possible answer for a lot of debates in Christianity. Just like how preterists and futurists debate a lot of the metaphorical language, well, I believe that astrotheology is the third answer that can really help us understand this apocalyptic language. Thanks for watching.